It's over. That whole Sky Barbie thing, that thing is over. Angel Reese is done in Chicago. They're going to move on. They have to. With what Courtney Vandersloot just came back and said, Courtney Vandersloot just smoked Angel Reese. And you know who else is going in on Angel Reese? You got Nightcap with Unk and Ocho, Shannon Sharp and Chad Johnson going in on this Angel Reese situation. She didn't think it was going to go this way.
If you're going to go at a legend, you better not miss. As we know, Angel Reese come out this week. She absolutely crushed her own teammates into the dust. And she even decided to go after a legend. The legendary Courtney Vandersloot, who, of course, blew out her ACL at the beginning of the season, and she is in the midst of making a comeback. And of course, Angel Reese made some comments that were none too kind to a legend. Angel Reese will be lucky if she has a third of the...
Courtney Vandersloot has made her opinions known. Furthermore, it wasn't subtle at all. To put it simply, you know things have gotten out of hand when you're a 5-time All-Star and 2-time WNBA champion, and you lash out at Angel Reese, a rookie who is now a sophomore and has a way of igniting controversy. This isn't just another argument between teammates or a few hurtful remarks made casually. The response from a player of Vandersloot's caliber indicates that the storm encircling Reese has now reached a breaking point. It's not just a disagreement anymore. There is a full-fledged fight, and in addition to being broken, the Chicago Sky locker room is actively leaking. Therefore, the true query is whether Angel Reese is already destroying bridges more quickly than she can construct them.
Angel will not have the career that Courtney Vandersloot has had. She won't. You know why? Because I don't think the league's going to tolerate her long enough. She's going to run her mouth until she just ends up jumping from team to team until she does what I think she should do right now.
Reese has been enmeshed in controversy ever since she joined the WNBA. She has come to represent turmoil, whether it was during her turbulent time at LSU or upon her entry into the workforce. She has been unrepentant, achieving fame by riding that drama wave. But eventually, that particular kind of anarchy stops working for you, particularly when it targets well-known icons like Courtney Vandersloot.
Why?
Because you had better land them if you were going to take aim at the game's legends. In this instance, Reese's attempt to defeat Vandersloot was a complete failure.
I don't know, Angel Reese. This is what Courtney Vandersloot had to say. She's firing off. Angel Reese, you got her twisted. She said, contrary to what people think, what people say or think, my age is actually not a factor. I am coming back. This is after Angel Reese said, yeah, Sloot is old. We need somebody young that can do this, that got some experience, but we need somebody young. She too old. I don't know if she can come back from that torn ACL.
This is where it becomes confusing, though. Why would Angel Reese choose this course at the beginning of her sophomore year? Why would she take the chance of offending not just one of her teammates, but also an accomplished veteran who has overcome ailments and won numerous titles? Reese's career hasn't even lasted 2 complete seasons. However, she is occupied with criticizing one of the league's most successful players. Players who have already established themselves as mainstays for their organizations include Caitlin Clark, Reese's former competitor, who is now a peer. For instance, Clark is rapidly emerging as the Indiana Fever spokesperson and a mainstay in the WNBA. Reese is using her own locker area against her in the meanwhile. For any athlete looking to position himself as a leader, that is not a good look.
It is crazy, but it shouldn't shock me coming from this fan base at all. Oh, but she's on video now, and she's made a direct shot. Courtney has answered the shot from Angel Reese. And I got to be honest with you. How much, here, I'm going to speculate out loud. How much shit was Angel Reese talking in that Chicago Sky locker room last year around Kennedy Carter about Caitlin Clark? All right, think about that a minute. The influence there. I got to tell you, I don't think it was Kennedy Carter that blew that locker room up. I think it was Angel Reese.
She just presented the facts, supported by her accomplishments and decades of expertise. Her response was so potent because of this. Ree, meantime, keeps displaying immaturity by speaking more quickly than she is mature. At this point, the disparity between the two players is much more obvious. Sincere reply. Now, let's examine Reese's supporters. Her supporters have been cruel. Many of them have attacked Vandersloot personally rather than supporting their player with grace. They've insulted her, disparaged her career, and tarried her name in the process. It's needless, immature, and eventually hurts Ree's reputation. Your fan base is an extension of you, whether she likes it or not. Furthermore, what does it say about Ree that those who support her are so willing to disparage others? In the meantime, Caitlin Clark's supporters have bolstered her rather than undermined others. Two players' approaches to their ascent to fame differ significantly. Vandersloot can demonstrate her value without engaging in arguments on Twitter or ranting on Instagram. Her legacy speaks for itself. Because her career speaks for itself, people trust her when she claims she's returning stronger than before. However, it's difficult to believe Ree when she claims that the squad needs better players and dismisses veterans. There is no denying the disparity in believability between the two. Ree frequently expresses her desire to win titles, have better players around her, and raise the standard of the Chicago Skies. However, what sort of elite athlete would choose to play for a club whose star forward openly disparages and disrespects the players who came before her? These factors are taken into consideration by free agents. Why would I sign with a team whose locker room feels more like a reality TV show than a professional basketball team if I'm a top-tier player searching for a team? The management of the Chicago Sky is not innocent in any of this. The locker room is now divided as a result of their allowing this conflict to develop. Their incapacity to act decisively is reflected in the half-game suspension. Hold your player accountable or support her. The organization appears weak, unfocused, and unsure as a result of the clumsy approach. Ree is still capable. That much is certain. She is a fierce competitor, a force on the boards, and a player who puts her all into every play. However, you won't survive long in the harsh world of professional athletics if your drama surpasses your production. Angel Reese is on the verge of crossing the boundary at the moment. Reese's suspension sparked concerns about more than simply her maturity. It made people question the Chicago Sky's future course. For a high school athlete, a half-hearted benching might be sufficient, but for a professional athlete, it is absurd. She is still on the court to sell tickets, so it's a feeble attempt to enforce discipline. That is cowardice, not leadership. However, for more than 10 years, Courtney Vandersloot has exemplified what great leadership looks like. You don't win championships or accumulate 7 assist crowns by chance. By being present, earning your keep, and holding yourself to a higher standard, you do this. Vandersloot didn't complain when she tore her ACL. She refrained from pointing fingers. She left for work. She is currently making a return. Ree might learn something from it, but she doesn't appear interested in hearing it. Rather, she appears more concerned with managing her story, whether via fandom disputes, public remarks, or on-court stunts. Here's the issue, though. That storyline had better be based on output when you're a sophomore in the league with no playoff accomplishments to support your claims. Otherwise, you appear to be talking a lot without providing evidence to support it. Players like Caitlin Clark are becoming more well-known as the league finally expands. She is the one expanding the game and attracting spectators to arenas. Conversely, Ree is leveraging her prominence to divert attention. That is not necessary for the WNBA. It requires maturity and stability. Ree hasn't yet demonstrated two things. Courtney planned her public reaction. It was motivated by the urge to silence the expanding narrative rather than defensiveness. She doesn't need to establish her worth. Her career is sufficient evidence. She reminded everyone by speaking up that in this league, respect is earned rather than demanded. In the meanwhile, Ree could lose. Not only the locker room, but also the league's own respect. Her career might take the same course as that of so many others who were brilliant for a while before fading away because of drama and immaturity if she keeps going in this direction. This is a warning, not a prediction. Angel Reese might end up being just another cautionary tale, a player with boundless skill but no longevity, if she can't control her behavior and concentrate on her game. Let's go over that Caitlin Clark analogy one last time now. The two athletes are starting their second season in the league. However, whereas Clark is becoming the league's future, Reese is a divisive personality whose name is linked to controversy more than success. Although they are both gifted, only one is positioning herself for sustained success. Chicago must make a choice. Do they cut their losses and trade Reese before her worth drops any lower, or do they continue to cater to her in the hopes that she will grow into the celebrity they desire? In any case, Vandersloot's answer has clarified one point. Why should anyone think that Reese will respect the team, the league, or the game itself if she can't appreciate seasoned players like Courtney Vandersloot? There is more to this story than one punishment, one remark, or one player's actions. It concerns the team's culture, the franchise's course, and the future of a player who may either pave the way for a new era or serve as a warning about wasted talent. Courtney Vandersloot did more than simply correct Angel Reese. Respect must be earned, not demanded, she reminded everyone. Cheap shots are not taken lying down by legends. Furthermore, Angel Reese is revealing her own immaturity even though she may believe she is saying the truth. It's your time now. Do you believe Angel Reese can get over this situation, or has she gone too far? Please share your ideas in the comment section below, and remember to like, subscribe, and comment.